the competitiveness of it. I loved it. Grabbing someone and throwing them to the ground. I just loved it. Nothing else mattered. When I got picked up for St Kilda Football Club,
found Zantac. Zantak's kick.
I know Shane idolised the St Kilda captain, Trevor Barker.
And I think if Shane modelled his career on anybody, it would have been Trevor Barker.
Then I got to know Trevor at the club and hung around with him after a year or so. Gave me one of my first nicknames of Hollywood. I wanted to be like him.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I wasn't good enough to play at the top level. I played under 19s, I played a game in the reserve. Yeah, I just wasn't good enough. And that was a tough lesson to learn, that your dream was shattered.
One door closed and another one opened. One door closed and another one opened.
A letter comes in the post. Thank you for your time at the club. Your services are no longer required.
Did some damage to him. It hurt.
That pain that he felt was a huge catalyst, not wanting to be told he wasn't good enough again.
I sort of lost my way. What am I going to do? You know, I wasn't qualified in anything. I delivered beds, delivered pizzas. When something's taken away from you, it tests every part of you. I was winning a couple of tournaments playing tennis, and suddenly I thought, well, maybe I should play tennis. It was pretty hard to have passion about anything.
You see what this does? You see what this does? It shows you guys that sometimes it takes a while for you to discover what you really want to be in this world, what you really want to strive to become. And you sometimes you don't know it. You don't know it until you're later on in life. He was asking himself, I wasn't good enough to make it in the big time for football. I'm good at tennis. Also good at cricket. Maybe I should try tennis. Little did he know that he was going to be one of the best cricket players of all time, man.
Luckily, I had a natural ability to spin the ball a long way. And I remember hunched over in that, and someone jumped on my back. I ended up breaking both my legs.
Jesus.
My dad made me a trolley, and I had plaster to my ankles.
Oh, God.
I have got quite big hands and big wrists, so I think it did help me from those wrists at a young age, because leg spin bowling, you do use your wrists and everything. So I do think that
Young kids, don't go around breaking both of your legs, all right? All right, don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to become a spin baller, don't break both of your legs, all right? Just don't do it.
top spin, back spinner, and then slider. At a cricket club called the East Sandringham Boys Cricket Club. Growing up on mats, so not grass, but matting, that would spin a long way. I remember watching Abdul Qadir bowl, so I went down to St Kilda Cricket Club.
When he first came to St Kilda, he had the blonde sort of peroxide hair. Be successful. You could tell straight away just the way he went about his training. He learnt the culture of the club, and he learnt how important it was to perform to be able to get to the next grade.
Come with me to England and come on an adventure in England. We'll play 6 months over in Bristol.
Down in Bristol, his first year there, he lived in the grandstand with a couple of the other boys from St Kilda.
We played in the Western League. Decent standard of cricket. We spent most of Thursday, Friday and Saturday night out on the piss in Bristol. Warney was
the bloody
getting an
stories,
induction into
mate.
lots of drinking,
Bloody
lots of
stories I've
socialising.
heard about Shano and his partying, boy.
Every day was 10
We
pints.
would never have guessed that he would turn into the player that he did. Pernod and Black the night before.
Ooh,
We
that
had
would
to
have been
stop
rough
3
the
times
next
for him to
morning.
be sick. He still managed to get 6.
Mum and Dad come to pick me up.
My God, that Shane. Huge.
It is.
He was really blown up.
Like I mean, I'm trying to see if there's a...
I came over 79 kilos. 6 months later, I went home 99 kilos. I put on 20 kilos.
Jesus Christ.
His face was bright red, and the furthest thing from an athlete you could picture.
I was playing 6, sometimes 5, 6 days a week, some days 7 for 6 months. Just fast-tracked my development. Cricket found me. I realised, now I know what I want to do. I went back down to St Kilda Cricket Club. I started to get a passion for the game because I thought, this is what I want to do.
He could see that he could actually make players look second rate, and then he was nominated as one of the players to go to the academy.
When I first got invited to the Cricket Academy, it was a great experience, but I never really was 100% there. Socks, pull your socks up, you know, wrong shorts, tuck your shirt in. I was that guy. And I mooned some people out of the pool on this balcony. I mooned them. And I got sent back on a bus from Darwin to Adelaide. 44 hours of red rock on a bus. So I was training by myself, living in a pub, trying to improve my cricket. I thought, what am I doing here? I should be back in Victoria, back in the state squad in Victoria. So I wrote a letter and drove home. I think you might be a chance. So I drove home, played for Victoria the next week. Fantastic. You're the first Australian Cricket Academy player from the Institute of Sport that played for Australia.
Of course they would.
They wanted to put me up on the wall. So thank you to everyone at the Institute of Sport and thanks to the Cricket Academy. But I learned a lot.
There's a lot more he wanted to say, but the
just
cameras
turned
were
22.
there.
We're pretending to be Alan Border and that in backyard games, and now he's my captain in a test match for Australia.
The search was always on to come up with the test quality spin bowler. Mate, he could bowl.
And he was having some trouble. You know, India took it to him in his first test.
And gave him a bit of tap.
And he gets hammered by Tendulkar and by Shastri.
I felt intimidated. I felt nervous, being told I wasn't good enough. And I didn't think I was good enough. I was really scared. He had just been released out of jail.
Both leg spinners. And TJ loved
That's
to...
what I thought it was.
There was a lot of parallels that Warnie could relate to.
He said, I rocked up in my car with the music absolutely blaring. He goes, my first impression was, what the hell is this bloke? He said, you're unfit, you're fat. Do you want to play cricket for Australia? I said, of course, I've had a taste of it. He said, well, you're not good enough. He said, but you can be.
You know, Terry just came out of jail about the time that Warnie was coming into the side. This guy can help me.
He said, if you're prepared to work hard, you're a chance. And he said, well, I like what we've got here. We can work with this.
We're training, you're bowling, we're talking, we're watching films, and you're going to learn about it.
He just became my mentor. He became my Mr. Miyagi. He got me. Yeah, he understood me. He goes, exactly, it's about rhythm and feel. I said, I agree. Really trying to identify and hone my skills of each delivery and tactics and strategy. Without Terry Jenner, there's no way I would have become the bowler I was, being good enough at cricket, because I wasn't good enough at footy.
Against the Indians to Sri Lanka, where we're playing over there against, you know, by the end of it, you know, I'm sort of sticking blokes out everywhere trying to stop the flow of runs.
And I was just staring out at the ground thinking, we're going to lose this test match. Sits next to me and goes, mate, it'll all be okay. You're doing good. He made me believe.
He'd got absolutely whacked around the first innings, and it took me a long time to bring him on in the second innings.
Alan Border says next over, that end. And I'm like, oh no, it's going to be over. They're going to smack, and it's game over. Bowler maiden. And I'm like, and Alan Border's just walking back to my mark, and he goes, mate.
I think the rest is history, where he took 3 wickets in no time to win us a game. When it came to that crunch time, he delivered, and which he hadn't. You could see the confidence just surged through him.
And he bowls against the Windies, and he gets 7 for 52.
He bowled West Indies out in Melbourne, so we'd seen this young leggy all of a sudden now start to bowl sides out.
And we beat the almighty West Indies that haven't been beaten for a long period of time. If I bowl like that, I can bowl against the best players in the world.
His way of spinning as well was so... The angles were so weird.
Or leg spin, which is from your wrist, your shoulder, your accuracy becomes a big challenge.
Bowling leg spin, what your shoulder actually does is internally rotate. So your shoulder turns, it puts enormous pressure on your shoulder, and try and have some sort of control and spin it as well, and not embarrass yourself by bowling balls that...
To consistently land the ball in the desired areas.
I loved the challenge. I loved something being hard.
That's gone wide, and then suddenly the stumps will be gone.
What he was doing was so mystical.
I don't know why Ed Sheeran is even in this.
It's a turning of the wrist.
Oh.
Once he releases
Hit
it,
a
the spin
divot.
ball,
That
the
hit
ball
a
goes up in
divot.
the air. You see it's going spinning round. It's going to go straight that way, and then boom, the spin that the ball is putting on it.
An aggressive stroke play, generally against fast bowling.
That's true. Yeah,
and that changed the game, and it changed the way people think or thought about the game at the time.
It's the best thing that had happened to cricket for a long time.
I said that too. I literally said that too.
Test cricket was cool.
Yep. Exactly right. 100%.